It's Anzac Day 2020, a day of remembrance, the day we say, lest we forget. I find my not forgetting branches out in unexpected directions. It doesn't end with those who died on the battlefields. Remembrance sits in the presence of an empty space at the family table. Remembrance is thinking of those moments when grandparents wanted to tell a story to a sibling who was no longer around to hear it. Remembrance is as much about those long wounds of domestic grief as a savage moment of death in a distant, muddy hell. This is Nora Malloy. She's my great-grandmother. She was born in Tasmania when it was still a colony. Her father, Brian, was a stonemason from Tullamore in Ireland. The artistry of his hammer and chisel can be seen all around Tasmania, in churches and graveyards and various memorials. Brian was responsible for the fine stonework that still gives Tasmania's government house all its elegance. But Brian was a proud Irishman, an O'Connell supporter from way back. He certainly wasn't an empire man. He was all about Irish independence. Nora, his daughter, married Hugh O'Doherty. Hugh, my great-grandfather, was a Donegal man. He ran pubs and was involved in tin mining. The war must have been a tricky proposition for Irish Catholics. I often wonder what it was like for the old ones, the ex-convicts and famine survivors and believers in an independent Ireland, when they heard all the bombastic noise compelling their grandchildren to go off to die for the empire. This is the letter signed by Hugh and Nora O'Doherty on the 14th of August 1915, giving their consent so their 19-year-old son Joseph could join the expeditionary forces. Their older son, Hugh, had already joined up in February and was with the 26th Battalion, who were training in Egypt and were soon to cross to join the battle at Gallipoli. Joseph joined the 3rd Light Horse Regiment as a trooper and was among the reinforcements who embarked on the 26th of August 1915 to join the regiment at Gallipoli. They were there until the 14th of December, and then they were stationed in Egypt, fighting against pro-Turkish forces in the Nile Valley and protecting the Suez Canal. Things went wrong for Joseph. He was discharged on account of disease of the heart on the 26th of September 1916. Later documents made reference to shell shock. Any relief Hugh and Nora might have felt, having a son survive his enlistment, was soon dispelled. Joseph seemed determined about soldiering. He re-enlisted on the 29th of November 1916, only to be discharged again due to chronic appendicitis on the 14th of May 1917. He re-enlisted yet again on the 6th of December 1917 and died in Egypt of pneumonia and influenza on the 9th of February 1919. He's buried in Cairo